Hi. When it comes to tying streamers, most of people choose hooks like this one, which is B830 of Kamasan. That is a two times long shank hook. Actually, if you compare these two hooks, the one under it is a number 8 of a 170. That's actually the same length of the body approximately, but a much wider gape, because this is a hook who is one time long shank, but it's a bigger size. So actually I prefer it because my gape is wider, and then I have the impression that hooks better with bigger fish. So I'm gonna have this one, 170 number 8 on the vise for today. A little bit of super glue to secure my tying thread to the chunk, and I'm gonna start tying in with GSP 100, a little bit thicker than the ones I use in some other videos, the years GSP 50. Start at the eye and go all the way back. It's a very slippery thread, and therefore I like to put a little bit of super glue onto the shank to secure everything in position. Let it hang around the barb. Now, for the body, I'm going to use a blend. Just pick up white dubbing. This is a blend of rabbit dubbing or hare dubbing in color white, and this is a spectra shiny dubbing. The idea is that you pick up a bit of the white and a little bit of the shiny. You put the shiny on top of the white, and you simply split it and put it on top, and split it and put it on top, and split it and put it on top, until you get the mixing the way you want it. You should end up with something like a white dubbing with some glittering in between. Something like this. Don't be afraid of mixing any sorts of or colors of dubbing, because in the shops they do the same when they are selling you this. Blend dubbings are just simply blends of all the different sorts of dubbing existing. You should end up with something like this. Pick up from this dubbing a little bit, like this. There's just simply a little bit for a little tag that we're gonna do, and tie it in. 2, 3 turns. We can cut off the rest. It's a little tag, don't worry, you will see later. For my Zonker strip, I'm going to use this olive one today. Just simply see about the length of the shank of the hook for the length of the rabbit under, for the leather of the rabbit. Then you have an extra with the hair tips, and with the needle, with the use of your needle, splits it at the point where you're going to tie it in. Make your fingers wet, and you will see that you will have a very clear splitting there, open. That's a place where you want to tie it in, and tie it in very strongly. Two or three times, extremely strong. This is a thread that you will not cut it with anything, don't worry. If you try to cut it with your fingers, you're probably gonna slide your fingers off with the thread and come back. At this point, what I'm gonna do is, this is a very nice thread to split. With the use of my needle, I'm going to look at the middle of the thread. With this movement and my needle, I make it a bit flat. And I put it flat against my finger. That helps you a lot to split it. Once I split the thread, I take the dubbing and little by little I put it in between to create a dubbing loop. I prefer to split this thread than creating dubbing loops because it's, once you get the hang of it, it works much faster, much more fast than with dubbing loop. So once you have enough, you think you have enough, pick up with your fingers like this, keep the tension and roll your bobbin. Roll it and roll it and let it roll and roll. Once it had rolled enough, you release this, keeping the tension with your bobbin, and you let all the turns go into dubbing. And you see you get this lovely little dubbing brush. You can open it or remove the excess with a little bit of Velcro. And once you're ready, just simply start building your body really near where the Zonker strip starts, as near as you can, and you go to the front. Don't be afraid if it is too thick, because in fact that's what we're looking for. Once you are at the eye, no problem, comb it with your brush or with a little comb down on both sides, down, backwards. The idea is to get all those fibers on top bending to the sides down so that you get flat on top. Once you're satisfied with it, you turn your Zonker strip over and with tension bring it to position where you're going to tie it off. And again, if you have trouble splitting it, use your needle, and once you have split it, you put it into position and you tie it off tight. This tying thread allows you a lot of tension. Don't be afraid to cut it. That's why I love to use this tying thread. Probably you will never break it. Now, you can build up a little head. And tie it off. Pull tight, cut it. And what concerns the tying part, that's it. That's your fly. As easy as that. Now we're gonna simply do a little bit of makeup to the fly. Why do I call it makeup? Because the idea is that now you comb it good. Give a little shape diagonal to the lower part of the body. If you want, that's really not obligatory, it's not so necessary. And now I'm going to use these epoxy eyes. See these epoxy eyes. 4 millimeters in silver. You can have them silver or gold or red, that's up to you. And to glue them, they are normally sticky ones, but I use this Patex in Belgium, is called Extreme Repair. It's a very flexible glue. When it dries, it doesn't become so hard, so it doesn't break. Just simply pick with your needle a little pinch of it, yeah, and place it into position where you're going to stick your eye. So the idea is that you just simply bring it into position where you're going to stick your eye. Then pick up one of those little eyes, and on top of the glue simply lay it softly. And then, with the use of your needle, just push it a little bit until you get it where you want it. This glue allows you around 5 to 10 minutes of correcting your position, because it's a bit slow to dry. But after 2 hours will be completely dry and it will be fixed. It's more flexible in case you hit it when you're casting, it won't break off. So you can compare very well where your eyes are. And actually, what concerns dyeing is done. Get the grip of it, and you will be able to tie them in a few minutes. A little bit of head cement to secure the knot. And that's it. My version of a Zonker. You avoid all the trouble with the ribbing the wire through the rabbit strip, which will make it much more easy for you. It caught me so many fish I can't remember, and I think it's one of my favorite streamers. I hope it got you a lot of fish too. So thank you for watching, and see you maybe next pattern.